Dear comrades, welcome to my channel. Adivarse, I speaking. Our Anuchamara Educational Center. Now I am going to tell you a few words about Periyaar. Generally, Periyaar is a great personality. He was born in Erode. All these things are known to our people. But why we are in a state of spreading this Periyar thoughts to the people? What is the reason for it? Why do we support Periyarism? That is my question. He was born in Erode. He studied only fifth standard, and he came to his father's trade. He was a trader. Those things are his personal life. But he entered politics. He entered Gandhian politics. He became the chairman of Erode, and he worked very hard to eradicate the plague. In those days, that is a big epidemic disease, and also cholera. In those days, those diseases are spreading everywhere. Our Periyar went to that places, and he brought the dead bodies to the graveyard. He served to the untrodden people. And then he joined Congress party. In the Congress party, he worked very hard to spread this Khadi movement. In those days, this Khadi is a main process to spread this spinners, the handmade shirts, handmade dhotis like that. He spread this Khadi movement with his wife, Periyar's first wife, called Nagamaya. Nagamaya also participated in that Congress preaching. In those days, we cannot see more educated ladies, because education was denied to women in those days. But Periyar wife took a very important role in spreading this Khadi, as well as against the drinking habit, that is toddy drinking. Kallu kadaikal, that is called kallu kadaikal in those days. That is what you say. That is like intoxicating this mind. That is called intoxication drink. Nowadays we say saraya kadai. In those days, Periyar and his wife, with his followers, he was against this drinking habit. He was fighting for that cause to eradicate the bad habits, drinking habits. After that, he saw the domination of Brahmins in the political field, as well as educational field. And he started to work, and he started to ask reservations policies. That is the policy of South Indian Liberal Party. In those days, there is a movement, that is a reform movement, that is called Justice Party. But actually the name of the Justice Party is Indian Nala Urimai in Tamil, the South Indian Liberal Party. They worked very hard to support these untrodden people, untouchable people like that. The leader was not Periyar there. They called their Sangam, the name is non-Brahmins party. They call the party name is Brahmanaralada Sangam. The leader of the non-Brahmin party is great famous trader, and he was called Velludai Vendam. தியாகராய செட்டியார் என்று அழைக்கப்படுவார். வில்லுடை வந்து ஒயிட் ட்ரெஸ் அண்ட் ஹேஸ் எ டர்பன் ஆல்சோ. இன் தோஸ் டேஸ் some rich people thought that Brahmins are dominating in political field and in social field. They wanted to speak against the Brahmins about the domination of the Brahmins. Periyaar liked that, but he was in the Congress party and he started this anti-Brahminism inside the Congress party. But in those days the Congress party gave more importance to the struggle against the British government. But he thought that the British government is supporting the oppressed and depressed people. He thought like that. And he saw the domination of Brahmins inside the Congress party. He disliked the Brahminism, Brahmins' principles and his conspiracy against the Dravidians. He came out of from the party, that is what we say, Congress party. Even this Congress party was started by A.O. Hume. He was a British rule. He started this movement at the first stage. What happened? Periyaar started and he supported this non-Brahmins party. At that time, this Hindi is a very problem. Hindi was spread everywhere. They wanted to preach Hindi in schools, in our Tamil Nadu schools. Rajagopalacharya was the great leader of those days. He was Vaishnava Brahmin, what we call Iyengar. He belonged to Iyengar caste. He was against the British movement in those days. Hindi was taught in all schools. Periyaar attacked Hindi, the domination of Hindi. The compulsory Hindi education, he was the against of Vedas and also the language Hindi. He said that our mother tongue is Tamil. Tamil is our language. We don't like, we don't want Hindi. We can do all our political activities or our problem. We support our Tamil. The Tamil language is also an ancient language, so he said that Tamil is very important, as well as English also. English, British, English in those days, they formed some reform acts. Periyaar supported this British reformations. He was against the child marriage. Periyaar condemned this Dasi systems. In those days, ladies were separated as Dasis. Devadasi system was there. He was against the Devadasi system. He brought light. He enlightened people. That is particularly the ladies. Women's liberation. Periyaar wished that all women section, whether they are backward people or scheduled people or what we call this sub-communities or the tribes, all kinds of non-Brahmin society must read English, because English is a language of world. It is a world language, and we see a lot of books in English, science books, history books, geography books, modern philosophy, like that. So he supported English education. And afterwards, Periyaar started schools for women. That is women politics in Vallam village. In Vallam village, he started one ladies, what we call ladies were taught there as a diploma course, polytechnic course. And he worked very hard to uplift the women's section also. What else these things, now we see the domination of Brahmins in this BJP party. So we are against the BJP party. We will see what about BJP preachings in the next class.